Hi, everyone. I'm Adam, and I want to take a few minutes to talk a little bit about building relationships, especially at the beginning of a school year. So we have so many opportunities in a face-to-face classroom that happen organically to build relationships with students. When we welcome them into our classroom with a smile, when we see them in a hallway, when we take roll for the first time, when we see them at one of their concerts, at a sporting event, or just in the dining hall, we have opportunities that come up organically in a face-to-face environment. But if we're online or in a hybrid format, we really need to be intentional about designing those opportunities. So one way that I like to build relationships and plan to build relationships even this fall in an online setting is during the first week, I want to set up different review opportunities. So this is me speaking like in a math or science curriculum, maybe a language curriculum where there's prerequisite information or information that's being carried over from another class. So for instance, if I'm teaching an Algebra 2 course, I would want to have stations. Now, I'm going to take a note from some of the GOA information on navigating a course and creating playlists, not packets. And you can see more of that information in the GOA designing for online learning navigation components. But what I want to do is create opportunities for students to review in small groups, while simultaneously during class time, I meet with students one-on-one or two-on-one to start to build relationships and ask questions. So one of the things I'm going to do is maybe in a Zoom video chat, I'm going to break up into breakout groups and have a group 1, a group 2, a group 3, and a group 4. As I put students into those, I'm going to allow them to choose from this playlist of review opportunities. There'll be markers in there that they need to, or hurdles for them to demonstrate their understanding, but for them to have practice to do in small group opportunities while I'm having one-on-one conversations, asking students about their progress in that review, their experience, in this case, if it's Algebra 2, in Algebra 1, or whatever the prerequisite class is. And then I'm also going to ask them basic questions to get to know them, right? So if a student says that they are on the dance team, I'm going to ask when it comes winter if they have any performances or concerts coming up. If someone says that they are big basketball fans, I might ask how their season's going in a few months. So I'm going to take notes that I'm going to circle back on from those initial meetings. But I also want to ask them about their experience. So if I'm, again, in an Algebra 2 classroom, what's your experience been as a math student? All those questions that we hope to gauge throughout the school year, I'm going to ask really explicitly up front and ask that to inform their first week. So in that first week, students will have looked at playlists that help them to review and say, this is the information sort of prerequisite coming in. It'll help them refresh. I'll have opportunities to ask really personal questions to get a chance to know students. Then they get to know me. It's that safe environment. And now after the first week, we're in week 2, and we're ready to move forward with our curriculum together. I can touch base with them one-on-one if need be throughout the year, but we've set those expectations and set up the frameworks in those small conversations that'll help support us throughout the rest of the year. So sometimes we think, well, it's going to take a lot of time up front, and it will, but that's time that will pay off as an investment later on.